even... Huh? Um, one person. Oh, riverboat, Jack. Oh. Let me think. Let me think. It does seem that Temple has quit. What do I have in here for today? X, Cave, Reuters, Reuters. Huh. Well, isn't that nice? U.S. election news. Huh. October 22nd. Harris holds 43% lead over Trump amid voter gloom. Reuters Ipsos poll finds. That is strange, because apparently, according to some other poll article from, is it today? So Reuters says one thing, but I have something else here that tells a different story. Hold up. Let me see. No. I want my own account for once. Hello, Jack-o'-lantern. Am I okay? I do my best. How are you? Do I not seem okay? Okay, Ukraińska. Hello, Emily S. Ukraińska Pravda in English tells us a little bit of a different story, so we're gonna take a look at it, but when is this from? Glad to see you again, Jack-o'-lantern. How are you? Am I okay? I have to think. Okay, this is from today. So something is weird going on. The article from yesterday says Harris holds 46 to 43% lead over Trump amid voter gloom. Reuters/Ipsos says. But I can see here in the European Pravda an article that says, what helped Trump make a leap in election race, and can Harris catch up? So I guess the question is which thing is the truth? Which thing is real? What is real and what is fake? I guess. Hey, I told you how it was. You never responded how you were. Good. I'm glad you're okay. I, on the other hand, am so tired. I could sleep until my name becomes Rip Van O'Lantern. Wait, what is your time zone again? If it's okay to ask, even. Where are you again? You in the US? Feels like you might be in the US, but I might be wrong. I should fix my lighting somehow. It seems like it's true. It seems like our good friend Tim Pool is quitting. What a shocker. I thought there was something to the title of Riverboat Jack's stream yesterday, but it seems like our alternative media giant is giving up. Quitting. It's all getting too much. There's this organized laziness that's getting to him. And also, a source of income has run dry, as we know. Ireland, good old GMT. Oh, interesting. That means that you're basically 1 hour earlier than me, right? It's where you are, it's 11:56. Is that right? 11:56? I managed to achieve. I managed to, after so long, after so many tries, after so many trials and tribulations, I finally cleared Uwu today. Final Fantasy 14. Do you know what Uwu is? Hmm? I've been moving house all day. Oh, you're moving somewhere else? Or are you, or do you work for a moving company? Which is also a possibility, I guess. Either you moved to a new place or you're are a part of a moving company. Yesterday is a little bit of a slow stream. Not many people are coming. That's fine. That is basically how I advertised it, so. Jack-o'-lantern, why not consider joining the page where you'll be seeing on screen? Nobody seems to be on the side page right now. Sleep well. Guess might as well talk about some stuff. It was a fair assumption. I was moving into a new apartment. What is the side page? I'm dense. Oh. It's this. It's lucyhazard.org/live. You can join and then you can be part of the side chat. You know, the chat that actually appears on the stream site. Might as well. I have a camera that's close and cam zoom. You see? Now I'm closer to you. Now we are closer. The chat's not visible on this view. We can see the books more visibly. It's all very good, very personable, very, how should I put it? Intimate. At Cool Chat, I got promoted from the Benders. The what? I'm sorry? You got promoted from what? It's alright. We might do some Poland has liquidated a Russian consulate. Did you know? Poland has liquidated a Russian consulate in the city of Poznań. I've been to that city once, I think. Um, it's been liquidated among suspicion, I assume very high suspicion, a very high probability of Russian sabotage. And since Russian sabotage has been apparently detected, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, or rather probably more broadly the Polish government, has made a decision to liquidate the Russian consulate in Poznań and send the Russian ambassador packing home. That was yesterday's news, or even yesterday's news. But today's news is that it made Russia very, very angry. Russia has been saying a lot of mean words about Poland, which, while it's nothing new for Russia, including nuclear threats, wonder if any nuclear threats were made over the decision to close down that Russian consulate. I know that one thing that Russia said in response to that is that Poland will feel a definite and painful response from Russia, whatever that means. Russia is being involved in quite a lot of sabotage, actually, in Poland. Quite a lot of fires. There's been recently a very big fire in a big Polish oil manufacturing place, but from what I've seen, that fire has actually not been linked to Russian activity in any way, but you never know. Several fires before have been actually linked to Russian activity. Among them, the fire in the, I believe, biggest commerce, sort of trade, no, not trade, well, I guess sales center in Warsaw. The saddest thing is that that particular fire that burned down the majority of the building, that particular fire hit the Vietnamese community in in Warsaw the most. I believe it was the biggest hit that the Vietnamese community has taken in Poland ever. Families lost everything overnight. Families lost their livelihood. People were sitting on the pavement crying near that building as firefighters were trying to combat the situation to stop the fire. I believe also that the government has made promises to offered fund relief for the owners of the businesses affected by that particular fire, but I have no idea what numbers the government was talking about. I have no idea what sort of financial aid the Vietnamese community that was hit by this particular attack was offered and given. So it's very weird. Russia ended up with sabotage attacking the Vietnamese community in Poland, which, quite frankly, I don't know what strategic gain Russia could possibly hope to achieve through the attack on the Polish Vietnamese community. But it is what it is. They did it. It happened. And a lot of people from Vietnam suffered for it. And so, since the sabotage in Poland has become, I guess, a pretty big thing, I return to the fact that Poland has made a decision to close down a Russian consulate in the city of Poznan. And now we're seeing Russian backlash to that decision. Let's see if we can find anything about it. Let me see. Are there any uh any sort of messages about it? See if there's anything. I guess Polskie Radio. You can take a look at the Polskie Radio. Ooh. The Polish president has visited South Korea. 4-day visit to South Korea. Polish foreign minister Polish foreign minister sees no reason for Russia to retaliate over consulate closure, which we've just been talking about at length, about the closure of said consulate. Hello, Greater Rain. How are you? Poland's Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski said on Wednesday that he sees no reason for Russia to retaliate against his country's decision to close a Russian consulate in the western Polish city of Poznań. Sikorski's remarks came a day after he announced his decision to withdraw consent for the functioning of the Russian consulate in Poznań, following consultations with the government, within the government. I wonder why Poznań in particular. As a result, the Russian consulate in the western Polish city will be closed, and the diplomat must leave Poland. Public broadcaster Polish radio, IAR news agency reported. How are you? You're trying to distract yourself. From what? How are you? Today's a little bit rough, I guess. Today's a little bit on the challenging side. It's a base move by the Polish government. We've had threats from Russia ourselves here, and the Russian spy was found in the Oryektas, the Irish parliament. Jack-o'-lantern, why are you still in this chat? Why are you still not in the cool chat? What happened? Why are you still here? Sorry you're having a hard time? Well, you know. Sometimes it's sometimes it just, you know, you know how it is. Maybe their work VPN blocks the site chat also. Oh, maybe that happens. First, oh damn. What? I have to... Okay, I guess we're gonna talk about this later. I guess we're gonna be... I don't know. Some of us are white. You should not be white. It's okay. We're in the middle of the stream. Alright, let's continue reading this article while we're at it. Agency reported, this is where we've left off. Sikorski predicted on Wednesday that even though Poland does not conduct any subversive activities in Russia, Moscow may still retaliate. He told reporters that there has been no official response from Russia yet regarding the decision to close its consulate in Poznan. He reiterated that there is no reason for a retaliation by Moscow because Poland is not involved in any sabotage activities in Russia, and the same cannot be said the other way around. Russia is absolutely involved in sabotage activities in Poland, as Poland has gathered at least a few suspects relating the recent fires that were connected to Russia. So there is that. There is that indeed. No, not involved in any sabotage, of course. Poland's always a saintly country. If Russia escalates, so will Poland, Foreign Minister says. Have no clue what that would even mean. How would a Polish escalation would even look like? More harsh words? What? Will Poland send troops to Ukraine? Will that be the thing to broke the camel's back? Will retaliation on this be the thing that will cross Poland's red line? Will it cause immediate decisive action? Hello, Jack-o'-lantern. Welcome. Welcome to the side page. You know? It's all very interesting, I think, to think about. This is so much cooler. I know. If you could consider not being white, that'll be a huge help for me. We expect that the response will come after the Russian side reviews our note, Sikorski said. You never know, but it will likely... We expect that the response will come only after the Russian side reviews our note, Sikorski said. You never know, but it will likely be a matter of a few days. For now, there is no formal reaction. He added that Poland is not yet considering the possibility of expelling the Russian ambassador from Warsaw. We hope that yesterday's decision will make the Russian authorities reconsider and stop paying hired saboteurs for hostile activities that could result in significant material damage or harm to people's health or worse, Sikorski said. Well, that's a bit of a naive statement if I've ever seen one. If anything, that will make, in my opinion, that will make Russia commit even more sabotage, but I'm not sure how this... Russia will look at Poland and be like, oh no, they've closed the consulate. Now we cannot sabotage anymore, I guess. We've learned our lesson. If any harm comes to a Polish citizen, and Russia escalates, we will respond in kind, he vowed. What? Will Poland um, engage in sabotage next? Is that a threat of Polish sabotage? If 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 Russia will engage in sabotage, we will answer in kind. In kind means the same way. What is the statement being made? It's a bit of a, well, it's, I guess the term I would use is interesting. It's a very interesting statement by the Polish foreign minister, in my opinion. We will answer in kind. Well, we'll start harming Russian citizens. It's okay, Gatorade. It's fine. If we were to expel the Russian ambassador, if we were to expel the Russian ambassador, the Russians would do the same, Sikorski told Polish state broadcaster TVP Info. However, if facts of sabotage continue, such a scenario cannot be ruled out. Hello? Hello, Jordan. Wait, Jordan, have I seen you here before? Does Poland have a special forces unit of the military? Well, Poland has a military. It has been spending a lot of its GDP to better its military recently. Poland has been on a buying spree of equipment, and Poland has been, well, let's just say that Poland has been trying to gear up. That's the best way I can put it. Poland has been making a big effort to gear up. And that's the truth of the matter. Will Poland send aid to Ukraine? Poland is already sending aid to Ukraine. Poland has sent more tanks than all other allies combined. In fact, what differentiates apparently Poland from some other allies is that Poland did not send old tanks from storage, but actually send newly renovated tanks to Ukraine. Newly usable tanks, not old, decrepit storage tanks. So that is one more aspect of the thing that I've been learning about lately. But I guess let's continue. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova on Tuesday warned of painful retaliatory measures against Poland and labeled Sikorski's decision a hostile step. This is what I've mentioned before, by the way, when I discussed this topic, that Russia warned of painful retaliatory measures, whatever that means. What is Russia just gonna do more sabotage? Well, what's the painful part? Like, I don't get it. What more painful retaliatory steps can Russia take? What, is Russia gonna invade Poland? That's what's gonna happen. Russia's gonna punish Poland. The Russian consulate in Poznan had been operational since 1946, and Russia still has consulate in Gdańsk and Wrocław, along with its embassy in Warsaw. So there you go. The presence of Russia has not been completely purged from Poland. Sikorski on Wednesday discussed Russia's war against Ukraine with his visiting Norwegian counterpart Espen Barth Eide. Their talks focused on relations in the areas of economic cooperation and energy, and international security, including the situation in Ukraine, according to the Polish Foreign Ministry. There you go. Oh, that's the end of the article. I didn't expect it to just cut here, be quite honest. But it ended. So there you go. I've given you a bit of an update on the situation with the Polish consulate. I know you were dying to know. I know you were very curious. You were, oh, Lucy told us yesterday that Poland's liquidating a Russian consulate in the city of Poznan. Oh my God. I really wonder what happened next. I really wonder what the continuation of this story is. And here you go. I read your mind, I read your hearts, and I obliged and I told you about it. Aren't you all happy? I basically read all of your minds. What is your opinion of Zelensky? He's doing the best that he can, all things considered. He's not a bad wartime president. Imagination scene. Hello. Hello, imagination scene. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Wait, what is? That Zelensky is doing the best that he can and he's not a bad wartime president? I'd say that's a pretty good thing. Apparently he is not ideal in peacetime, but I would say that when it comes to wartime, he is doing the best that he can, even though he gets often criticized, even though he often gets flack. And even though he gets mocked for wanting to secure aid for Ukraine, especially by one of the presidential candidates, Donald Trump. He often mocks Zelensky, calling him the best salesman ever, because whenever Zelensky visits the US, he leaves with $1 gazillion billion, of course, in aid. I've heard he is rather corrupt. Can you substantiate that in any way? Corrupt in what way? From what I've seen and read, he's been rather stumping on corruption. If in fact he just went hard on a really big corruption scandal lately. Question: what books would you recommend for the history of the region? Do you mean Ukraine? If you want the recommendation for books on the history of Ukraine, I can oblige. Do you want some recommendation? Wait, are you a native English speaker, or is it okay if I ask where you're from so I can adjust my recommendations to you? If you're an English native speaker, then I have a few particular books that I would recommend to you. And a very famous historian while we're at it. All I remember was bad was, I think, union rollbacks or something, but that could have been misinformation. I mean, apparently he's not the best on certain things like that, but again, not ideal for peacetime, but also he is doing pretty well in wartime. Like, the way you will judge a president in peacetime and in wartime will be different. You will judge a president on different metrics for the most part. You will prioritize, I guess, judging a president by different metrics when it comes to their wartime presidency and peacetime presidency. I think the biggest priority for a leader during a war is, can he actually lead the country towards victory? And he has been cracking down on corruption, especially corruption that undermines the Ukrainian army. He has been cracking down on that very hard. Okay. Yes, um, I wanted to recommend Timothy Snyder. Timothy Snyder is a great historian. He made quite a lot of good books when it comes to Ukraine. Bloodlands is a good book that discusses World War II era more and pre-World War II era, the Holodomor, the terror, Europe between Hitler and Stalin. That's the Bloodlands. But there are also the Black Soil book, I think. He wrote quite a few books on Ukraine, and also he released a series of Yale lectures on the history of Ukraine. It's available on his YouTube. You can watch that. And I'll be right back, because there are a few more books that I can recommend when it comes to the history of Ukraine in English in particular. So I guess I'll bring them down here and um, recommend. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. In fact, I would advise you to bring all of your friends. Bring all of your friends and family to this stream. You should watch it through. You should watch it through. It's a lot of lectures, but it's really good. I'll be right back with the books. I've returned. I almost forgot to unmute myself, but I haven't. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I try not to forget, usually. So, books, I guess. I guess books. I've been deep diving into Palestine history for many months. How is that going? Any thoughts that you'd like to share on the subject? What is your takeaway from all the reading that you've been doing? What are your thoughts on the conflict? Broadly speaking. So, books. Ukraine, The Forging of a Nation by Yaroslav Hrycak. Yaroslav Hrycak. Ukraine, The Forging of a Nation. That is a pretty good book. I recommend it to you as an English native speaker. The War Came to Us. This is like a more modern Life and Death in Ukraine. The War Came to Us. Christopher Miller. The inside account of the war in Ukraine from a leading journalist of the conflict. So there you have the two solid recommendations of books plus Timothy Snyder. I would recommend one other book, but that book's in Polish, so you're not gonna get a lot of mileage out of it unless you learn Polish. Any book that will be in English and will um, be on the history of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth will inevitably be also uh, a book about Ukraine, because the history of Ukraine and the history of Poland are intertwined in a lot of ways, especially in certain periods of history. So I guess the Oxford History of the Union would be useful. That is a history book on the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, but as I've said, the history of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth is also the history of Ukraine, as well as Poland, as well as Lithuania, as well as Belarus. It's a history of a lot of countries, let's just say. Is that okay? Is that a recommendation? Does that satisfy your sort of? Was there any Ottoman history in the past there though, through the Tatars? Well, the Ottoman Empire history is also intertwined with Ukrainian history because the Zaporizhian Cossacks have had many skirmishes with the Ottoman Empire and with the Tatars, for that matter. What was I? Oh yeah, if you'd like to show your appreciation for my little recommendation thing, then why not join the page? Why not join the page and chat from here? Chat from the chat that, is cooler. You can see it. It's visible on the screen. It's all good. A much cooler chat. Chat for winners, if you will. The winner chat. Really? Austria summons North Korean ambassador over reports of North Korean troops in Russia. That is a curious move. That is a curious move indeed. Austria summons the ambassador of North Korea. Winning is a lot of pressure. Listen, there's nothing better than winning. Also, any dollar that you can subscribe or donate will help me, because as it turns out, I'm in a little bit of a pickle. I made my dad listen to the audiobook for Bloodlands and it made him depressed for a week. Well, listen. I was born in the Bloodlands. I was born and raised right next to the ghetto wall. When I was little, Warsaw was still it had many empty places, and it was riddled with ruined buildings from World War II, with bullet holes and stuff like that. It was like being raised among the ruins, and I don't know, marks of the Holocaust, I guess. Since, yeah, I guess that's accurate, actually. It's actually more accurate than I ever thought. Thank you for the £5 on my old phone, so not sure the other chat works, but here's a little thank you. Thank you very much. Lucy, have you seen the game called Lawrence Lure? No, I have not. What is it? What sort of game is it? What is it about? Is it a good game? I'm gonna discuss some other topics as well today. I'm gonna be discussing some Ukraine topics while we're at it. We've discussed a Polish topic. It was just an aside, but we ended up taking a little bit of a glimpse at an article. We're gonna probably discuss Tim Pool's pathetic retirement, little speech, little crybaby. Oh no, it's over. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm gonna see. We're gonna see, and we're gonna. I don't know. It's so pathetic that it's at some point it's even hard to laugh. It's just you just shake your head at some point. It's a lure and it belongs to. It's made. What? I was watching someone play. Thank goodness you're here. Wait, what? What are you? Oh, Dim Tool, yeah. Tim Pool. Tim Pool is closing shop. Tim Pool is closing his little sad show. Listen, I have a theory. I have a big theory as to why uh, Tim Pool is closing up shop. You want to hear it? You want to hear my theory as to why Tim Pool's closing shop? Many people say that is because the tenant money ran out, tenant media money, the Russian money. But I have an alternative explanation, actually. I have a whole alternative theory as to why Tim Pool has decided to finish his amazing media show. And I'll gladly share it with you. I will gladly share that theory with you. If you're ready. If you're ready for it. Because sometimes people are just not ready for the truth. I'm technically speaking part of the alternative media. So I'm giving you the truth that no one else will. I'm giving you it as it is. I'm giving you the uncomfortable truths. Ready? Oh, thank you, Mostly Software, for gifting 2 Tier 1 subscriptions to Jack-O-Lantern and Hella Monster. Thank you. Give me a few days to prepare myself. No, there is no preparation. No prep time. You're not Batman. Wait, did someone just gift me a thing on Steam? I just received a gift on Steam. What happened? Damn. What is this? Oh my gosh. Wait, hold on. What's the gift? Lawrence Lure. Android. I accept your gift, Arkyle. Thank you very much. It's Arkyle. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I highly appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. It is Arkyle. Okay. No pressure to play. Just thought you'd like it. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the kind gift of a video game. Okay, so I guess I'll tell you as thank you. Ready? Oh wow, thank you. So many people speculate that it's because the Russian money ran out, but I say that it's because I saw that a new episode of Ukrainians React just premiered yesterday, and it has Ukrainian people reacting to Tim Pool. And Tim Pool was so hurt, his ego was so bruised, his world was so shaken by the unfiltered opinion of the Ukrainian people on the lies that he peddles daily, that he had no choice. His conscience was tormenting him so much that he decided it's time. It's time to, I don't know, hang the mantle. It's time to walk away. It's time to walk away from all this. That is my theory. That is what happened. I believe it with all of my heart. I believe with my entire soul that is exactly what happened. And if you believe otherwise, you're just wrong. You're just incorrect. You're spreading misinformation if you think otherwise. If you even try to float any other theory of what happened. My theory is, as they say, canon. The canon explanation of Tim Pool's announcement of shutting down the whole shebang. No, your theory is accurate. I know. You know, it fits perfectly. It feels like there's this correlation. This comes out, Tim Pool decides to quit. I don't know. Coincidence? All else is fake news, clearly. I do not think that Tim Pool thinks Ukrainians matter. Maybe not, but he has an ego. So who knows? He certainly has an ego. We're gonna watch a video while we're at it of Tim Pool quitting and deciding to move on with his life. True. True and real. But before we do that, let me check something real quick. Let me check. Interesting. Today's stream is supposed to be short, so I'm going to watch this Tim Pool thing. Maybe we'll talk about something else. I wanted to watch a silly debate, one of the silliest debates I've ever seen from the few seconds that I've seen of it. It's a debate of Destiny with a Marjorie Taylor Greene fan. I'm sort of intrigued by how a person can be a Marjorie Taylor Greene fan to begin with. So, okay, let me just set this up. Hold on. Let me just set this up. Maybe we'll play the game next time on stream. Arkael, thank you. Thank you again for the gift. Her fans exist? Well, yeah, apparently they do. Apparently they are such intense fans that they challenge Destiny to debates about to protect Marjorie Taylor Greene's honor. So I guess that's a thing. He has honor? Yeah. It's fine. Also, there's been this huge Twitch anti-Semitism scandal, so there's that. I'm targeted by Twitch. That explains everything, actually. The fact that Twitch is anti-Semitic explains every single thing in my life. It explains why my viewership on Twitch has always been so small. It explains everything so deeply and perfectly that it just all fits like a puzzle, like a puzzle. If only I were not Jewish, I would have at least 5,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch every single time I go live on that platform. Wow, double whammy. Twitch is also transphobic, so I'm trans and Jewish, which makes me a very big persona non grata on Twitch. Twitch is out to get me. But apparently, Twitch has actually region blocked people from Israel from making new Twitch accounts, which is like a whole scandal that's been happening, brewing. People have been discussing it. People have been gaining huge viewership by discussing this. And also, I've seen Lonerbox discussing a broader point of anti Semitism, the anti Semitism of people. Which, I mean, I could be talking about anti Semitism because I am equipped to do it. I've been a target of it randomly on the street. I've been clocked, quote unquote. That is, I haven't even thought about it before. Oh my god. I've never been, quote unquote, clocked as trans randomly on the street in my entire life. Never, ever. I am treated as a guy. It happens that I'm treated as a woman, but I'm never sort of identified by people as trans per se. But I have been clocked, quote unquote, by people as Jewish randomly. That happened. And I've been screamed by a guy on the street randomly for being Jewish. It was during a big scandal in Poland. There's been a big scandal in Poland regarding anti-Semitism because a public figure, a historian, well, now you know, a Polish historian that is an expert on the Holocaust said that Poland could have done more during the Holocaust, and that there is this sense in the Jewish community of disappointment with Polish people, and it created a huge, huge scandal. Better examine. Oh, what is this? It's the video that I've been watching that I've mentioned. I've been screamed at on the street by a guy. Because the whole disappointment angle, and then the person was like, I was going to the bus, running to the bus because I didn't want to be late for the bus, and the person screamed at me saying, hey, you, stop. I was like, wait, me? Yeah, you. We fed you, we hid you. That was some time ago, a few months ago at least. Might have been like 4 or 5 months ago. I'd have to check actually. It was quite a lot. It was a good while ago. Let me just say. Maybe it was, oh god, there might have been. It was a long time ago. No. What clocks someone is Jewish? I don't know. Outfit. I think it was the outfit because I wore a black coat, and that black coat really resembles a traditional man's Jewish outfit. So I think it was the coat that I was wearing that clocked me as Jewish to people. So they went like full blown angry on me. Like we um we helped you, we hid you, we fed you, we did everything for you, and you, what? You're gonna show me gratitude? You're gonna show me how thankful you are for all that we've done for you? You're gonna do it? What are you gonna do? I was like, huh? You know, confusion. And now it turns out that the anti Semitism has reached the echelons of Twitch. Honestly, it explains everything so neatly, and so perfectly. I'm being discriminated against. Cool story, bro. I don't know who you are. I don't even know who you are. I mean, that is true. That was my reaction. That was basically my reaction. So, what else are we doing? We're gonna watch the Tim Pool thing real quick and then we'll see. This is supposed to be a quick stream and it's not being very quick anymore past a certain point. He did. He did it. It's like those people that say they helped defeat the Germans and they are like 40. Yes, basically. It's basically like those people and more. It is basically like those people. Hey, you know, it's all good. It's all fine. Do you know the story of Witold Pilecki? Yes. Very known figure. I'm gonna Google him. Witold Pilecki. The soldier. 1901. Yeah. He got a medal. Brave man, brave man. Alright. Hold on. Let's just watch that Tim Pool thing. Let's just get it on. Let's get it on because I think it's time. I think it's time, don't you think? We can also talk about that Twitch poll thing, the whole thing, but whatever. Why am I so... It is such a sad little thing. I'll be crying, for you know it will be crying. Do you remember when Hassan Piker said that Taiwan is basically the South in the US Civil War? Oh, okay, let's... 345. Okay, let's watch it. Jesus. Let's see it without the side commentary. It's like 3 minutes, a bit over 3 minutes. Let's watch it. Three minutes. right-wing cope. Tim Pool cries, blames everyone else, and shuts down his show after losing $100,000 from his deal with Putin. No, I think it's about the... I believe it's about the Ukrainian React video that just came out. I don't buy it. I don't think it's about Tenant Media at all. He reported to the Allies about the concentration camps and intentionally getting in and breaking out of 2, I believe. You mean the death camps? Because the concentration camp is not the same as a death camp. Okay. Let's change the view. Because I know you're very, very curious to watch Tim Pool's very sad farewell. I'm curious to see it as well, together with you all. So let's go. Let's watch it.
The show is over. But yeah, I think this might be the end. We are well off. It is not a financial thing. We make a lot of money. But
oh no, it's definitely not a money thing. He went out of his way to say it, so it must be true. I feel relieved. You're well off, Tim Pool. Oof. So what could it be? What could it be? Is it the React video after all? It might be. It seems that way. Does his beanie find? No, never.
Piece by piece, the structure becomes bigger and bigger and bigger.
Well, just downsize then. What's the problem? I fixed your problem for you, Tim Pool. Just downsize. If you can't handle the size, downsize it. Be more humble.
Until it becomes impossible to manage.
Oh, yes, it becomes impossible to manage. It's not as if anyone ever has managed big projects ever before. It becomes impossible to manage.
You know, I would never call out anybody personally or individually. I would just say that, like, compounding, I don't know, laziness.
Compounding laziness? Of who? Yourself? If you have a problem with your staff, replace people from your staff. There's a compounding laziness. That's... What's the problem?
Yeah. That builds.
Yeah.
Builds up over time, which adds more and more workload to, you know, me and Allison.
Well, then get better people. Jesus Christ, cry me a river. Hire better people. Hire better staff. You've got the... God knows you've got the money to do it. There's no excuse for you. Oh, there's this compounding laziness. You've got the money to hire better people. Don't give me that crap. Maybe the staff likes each other more than him. Maybe.
To get to the point where we're just like, can't do it. We do really well. And, you know, it just, the problem is, without a proper CEO...
I need a CEO to oversee me. I need a CEO.
Who isn't hosting the show, it's not possible. Like, I think we have like...
It's impossible.
30-something employees. And so...
How many?
Hosting the show, it's not possible. Like, I think we have like 30-something employees.
Oh no, oh that's... That's a number that's impossible to manage physically. Nobody has ever managed that amount of employees. Well, now that I've heard that number, now I know it's impossible to continue. It's just unmanageable. God, how do you cope, Tim Pool? Struggling in a mind. Jesus.
And so, you know, the conversations I've had with family is like, I am under no illusions that I have the capability to make this company what it could be.
I really want to hear from his mouth what he would like it to be, by the way. I mean, now that Tenant Media is out of the picture, you definitely cannot make this what you wanted it to be, but...
It's and I hear all these things. No, Tim, you're wrong. You're wrong. Oh, come on. We've been trying to get a coffee shop open for 2 years.
Coffee shop? What does that have to do with his media thing?
Yeah.
Clearly, I cannot do it. I skateboard every day. Yeah, if we can't make cameras and a computer work, and despite all the previous failures we've had, there's not a single person here who can make sure that either the studio is operating or secondary studio is operating.
Oh no, this is such a tragedy. Oh no, that is, oh, what's happening? Oh,
We've gotten to a point in the company where everyone's kind of just kicked their feet up and said, I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And then that just means I'm Sisyphus pushing the rock up. The problem
oh no, it's all on me. I have to do everything. Oh, hire better people. You're rich. You've got a compound.
is people are sitting on the rock. We have this awesome property. We have skate parks. We have Willy Wonka's candy factory or whatever, chocolate factory. Why can't we get people to just do something?
What? What does that even... Why can't we...
Again, like, not calling anybody. I don't want to insult anyone directly, but it's
Well,
just...
then just fire them and get new people. What the hell's the... What is the problem? What seems to be the issue? What seems to be the malfunction? Damn.
Seeing someone stand around do nothing.
Well, then fire them! If you see people standing around doing nothing, you replace them with someone that will.
And then so the challenge is, in order to make this show operate, I have to work what is effectively 16 hours a day.
Oh no, poor you, poor you.
So like I haven't had a, it's fair to say, week
I haven't slept, I haven't ate, I haven't done anything. I haven't met my family in 10 years.
day sunset in 4 years.
What?
You know, like had a, it's fair to say, weekday sunset in 4 years. You know, like just through the window or something, or now that we're in the new studio, there's no windows at all. Wow, what if I finished work at a normal time like everybody else and just, I don't know, hopped in the car and went down to the river and looked at frogs?
Yeah.
This is such a pity party. I cannot believe this. Oh my god. Oh, pity me, please. I work so hard. I work so much. Everyone's at fault. Those people that are under me, they just aren't doing anything. I have to do everything, and I just, you know, I just can't. I just have to shut everything down because I'm so poor, and it's all too much. It just overwhelms me.
If I show up in the morning and I do my morning show, I get to give a portion of the work that I do to them so that they can try and make something work.
So pathetic.
And
They don't. They're so ungrateful. All of them. All of those bastards. They don't appreciate me and what I do for them. He's like trying to make a cancer commercial where they show the kids in the hospital, but it's just him complaining about his own poor self-management.
you know, I know they're trying as hard as they can. And
So are they trying as hard as they can? Or are they just standing around doing nothing? Is the standing around and doing nothing them trying as hard as they can? I don't know. I actually have no clue. I know I guess it's the edit. I don't care. I don't really care.
some more successful than others, but it just becomes too burdensome to the point.
True. Do you know my struggle? Do you know my burden? The burden of being me? The burden of being Tim Pool? Oh, I have to do everything. I have to do everything for them. It's not that I can hire any competent people. That would be too much. Then I'd have no excuse.
Point where unless they get off the ground and are able to maintain and manage themselves and make money, we can't do it anymore.
Well then, whatever, I've said it. Like, this reaction is just me repeating it ad nauseum. Get better people, 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 get better people.
there's a degree of staff required to run a show like this, and
Yeah, and you can afford to hire competent staff. Whatever.
it's I'm gonna work 16 hours every single day to the bone, and figuratively say I get no weekday sunsets, so that someone else
Wait, figuratively or literally?
can be like, I ain't gonna fix it. And there are a lot of people here who are willing to do a lot more and go above and beyond. Yeah, Raymond's sitting right here.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I was like, yeah, you should sit in this one. And then there are a lot of people that are like, when can I put the knife in Tim's bag?
What? Why would you hire such people that just waiting to backstab you? That is okay. That is very. I know the saying "keep your friends close and your enemies even closer," but I think you're taking it too literally. Don't hire your enemies. Come on. Don't hire your enemies to run your show. They're just waiting to backstab you. I don't think that's a wise managerial policy or hiring policy for that matter. I would feel weird if I had a person working for me, working for, I don't know, my YouTube channel, for editing my streams or whatever, and I'd be like, oh yeah, my editor, yeah, they're always waiting for an opportunity to stab me in the back. Obviously.
I can keep doing my morning show. There's no issue.
Yeah.
I require 0 employees to do that. So I kind of feel like I shouldn't get paid less for, like, so I'll give you some stories.
I'll give you some stories. This is 3 minutes long. There's only 10 seconds left. He's gonna tell all the stories in 10 seconds? Who is ready for a short stream? This is still a short stream, okay? Glitchmaster. It's not been even 2 hours. This is still a short stream. I could end it right now. Okay? Also, you're white.
We've had instances of people who work here leaking private information to far leftists who are harassing and stalking us.
Oh, good.
Yeah. We've had
Far leftists are harassing and stalking us. That one's good. Yeah, they're stalking us, talking about our tenant media shenanigans.
instances of people stealing equipment, getting caught on camera.
Amazing. And wow, Tim Pool. What a business brain. People stealing equipment. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ almighty. Alrighty then. People stealing equipment. Alrighty then. So how are you feeling? How is everybody feeling? Oh, thank you. I'm great, Lucy. How are you? It's a bit rough. It's a bit of a rough patch. But it's fine. you know? It's all good, sort of, kind of. I'm trialing ADHD meds. Hello, June trialing. I don't think I've seen you here before. Are you a new viewer? If so, then how did you find this stream? How did you find yourself on this stream? Hmm? How is everybody? How are we feeling after this touching? Um, oh, by the way, I've mentioned to you that um, Zelensky has cracked down on some corruption. There was this big scandal that's been happening. That all makes my heart go fast sometimes, but now I have to focus on meditate and relax. I guess we all have ADHD on this day. On this fine day, we all have ADHD, don't we? So you know I've talked about that, right? There was this scandal with prosecutors. There was. Let me see if I have it actually open, because it's a pretty wild story. Wow. Yes, Ukraine's prosecutor general resigns amid draft dodging scandal. There's a huge scandal that was happening. Zelensky has cracked down on it. Local prosecutors accused of faking disability to avoid the draft. And there's been apparently a really big amount of cases of this sort of draft dodging. There's been, it was so bad that they had prosecutor general basically resigned from his post because people were claiming disability to not just have disability benefits, but also to be able to avoid going to the army. And apparently, a lot of these disability sort of procedures were just bogus. They were just, corrupt. And now apparently there's starting to be a big risk when it comes to, because Ukraine has been making strides in order to combat its problems with corruption, but apparently Ukraine risks delay in receiving 4.3 billion installment from EU's Ukraine facility due to reform shortcomings, Foreign Ministry says. What do you mean? What's the situation with soldiers as far as time they have to serve in the army? It's been a bit rough. A lot of soldiers have been not switched for a long time. I'm not entirely sure what the switch up sort of plan is now for the soldiers. Ankle spurs, yeah. Hello, Jandre. Welcome to the page. I hope you will consider not being white, because it seems like I'm in a little bit of a pickle. Deputy Foreign Minister Yevhen Perebrinis issued a letter to cabinet ministers on October 23rd, warning that the European Union has notified Ukraine that the next tranche of 4 billion euros, 4.3 billion, from the EU's Ukraine facility may be delayed until next year unless expected aspects of corruption reforms are completed by the end of this month, which is, not a lot of time left. Let me just say that. The EU stated that if Ukraine does not finish all internal procedures to approve and adopt the law by the end of October 2024, the 4 billion euros financing will be reallocated to the following year, Perebrinis wrote in the letter. And that's a pretty big deal. That's a pretty big setback, right? In aid. Like, Ukraine cannot afford to lose such huge amount of money in aid. It's just not in the position to. Especially when things are not looking good. Things are just not looking good, and the presidential election in the US is just 2 weeks away. The initial payment scheduled to be thank you, Jandre, for the tier 1 subscription. Thank you very much. I highly appreciate it. It helps me a lot, especially currently. Thank you. The initial payment scheduled to be dispersed in November risks delay amid stalled progress on improving regulations for plea agreements in corruption cases. The necessary changes to Ukraine's criminal code were supposed to have been finished by the third quarter of 2024. However, they were only approved by Parliament in the first reading on October 9th. It was not immediately clear as to when the payment would be postponed until if Ukraine's parliament fails to fully adopt the new changes. Following Russia's full-scale invasion, the European Union created a list of reforms Ukraine must implement as a necessary step toward Kyiv's accession into the alliance. Last week, President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a bill reforming the state customs service, that is a big deal, and introduced to tackle corruption and save funds otherwise lost to smuggling, with a myriad of other reforms ongoing, including the tackling of the whole regional prosecutors, giving people leeway to claim disability. The Ukraine facility approved by the EU in February allocates 33 billion euros, $36 billion in loans, and 17 billion euros, $18 billion in grants to Kyiv. The EU Council approved the framework agreement in mid-May, setting out the Ukrainian government's tasks for recovery, reconstruction, and modernization. The besieged country received 42.5 billion in external financing from various donors last year, allowing it to function amid the ongoing war. The International Monetary Fund said Ukraine will need roughly the same sum to support its budget this year. There are a few. There are quite a few. Kyiv Independent, Reuters. It depends on news updates on what topic, to be quite honest. I have quite a nice list of news sites. Better? Better, thank you. This is, for example, an article in the Kyiv Independent, so that is a pretty good source. The besieged country received 42.5 billion. We've already read this. According to Finance Minister Serhiy Marchenko, the current pledges are still not sufficient to cover the country's needs, adding to that Ukraine will likely need an additional 12 to 15 billion in foreign financial support next year. So that is a problem. There's another big problem that Ukraine faces, by the way. Another big problem of financial nature. Because many people know that agriculture is a huge source of money for Ukraine. But what a lot of people do not know, and I hope I have it still up, hold on. But people don't know that apparently when it comes to Ukraine, the second biggest source of money that flows into the budget is Ukraine's steel industry. I bet you did not know that. I bet you did not know that the Ukrainian steel industry was such a big deal, but it is. And Russians are advancing a key coal mine, the type of coal that is an important factor to the Ukrainian steel industry. And that mine happens to be near the besieged city of Pokrovsk, a city that Russia's been trying to get at it for some time. It also happens that it's in its vicinity a key Ukrainian coal mine is located, and the loss of this mine would be a severe blow to Ukraine's economy, as we will read in a moment. That is something that I've been actually wanting to talk about yesterday. I did not have the opportunity. We will talk about it today, and then we'll see. and then we will see. It's a pretty big deal, let me tell you. Hold on a moment. Coking coal mine is vital for Ukraine's steel industry. I've already said that. Metal exports raised almost 2 billion in January-August 2024. US South African coking coal imports would push up costs. So that's the summary. Those are the three main points, which some of them I've already made. A view shows a destroyed bridge in the town of Pokrovsk amid Russia's attack on Ukraine in Donetsk region, Ukraine, September 17th. As the Russian forces grind their way towards the strategic supply hub of Pokrovsk in eastern Ukraine, they are also approaching a coking coal mine that fires the country's vital steel industry. Russian troops have moved to within around 12 kilometers of Pokrovsk, overwhelming Ukraine's stretched defenses with vastly superior numbers and equipment. Thousands of residents fled, and key road and rail links and other cities being severed. Thank you, Jandre, for the $20. Antediluvian Solidarity. Thank you very much for the $20. I highly appreciate it. You're helping me a lot in this time of need. And now, the Kiev Independent. We're gonna continue reading this in this article. That does not require me to do anything. Lots of coal mine near Pokrovsk could halve Ukraine's steel production. And let me remind you why this is a big deal. Steel, apparently, the steel industry is Ukraine's second biggest thing after agriculture. And agriculture in Ukraine is pretty darn big. So this loss, in my humble opinion, would be very, very huge. Very big. Ukraine's steel production could drop by half if Russian troops capture a vital coal mine near the town of Pokrovsk in Donetsk Oblast. Reuters reports on October 16th, citing Alexander Kalenkov, the head of Ukraine's Steelmakers Association. Pokrovsk coal mine, the largest coking coal producer in Ukraine and one of the largest in Eastern Europe, is located 10 kilometers west of Pokrovsk. The mine produces coal for coke production needed in steelmaking, which is Ukraine's second largest source of currency after agriculture, Reuters reported. See, that's basically what I said. I mean, of course I said it. I did my homework, sort of, I guess. The eastern front near the town has been the scene of fierce fighting for several months and a focal point of Russia's offensive in Donetsk Oblast. I wouldn't be surprised if that mine is at least part of the reason. Pokrovsk is an important logistical hub for Ukrainian forces. According to trade data, exports of steel products totaled nearly $2 billion in the first 8 months of 2024. Kalenkov said that Ukrainian steelmakers could have produced up to 7.5 million metric tons of steel by the end of the year and planned to increase production to more than 10 million tons in 2025, which would be, as you can imagine, a huge boon to the economy, to be able to keep up the war effort, to be able to, well, we all know how that works. But if we lose Pokrovsk, then we will fall to 2 or 3 million tons, he added. In 2023, Ukraine produced about 3.5 million tons of coke using coking coal from Pokrovsk alone. According to Anatoly Starovoit, the head of the Ukroks Coke Association. We don't know where to get coal if Pokrovsk is seized, he said. An unnamed steel industry source told Reuters that producers hope to find alternative sources of coking called from elsewhere in Ukraine if Russia occupies the Pokrovsk mines. However, imports would inevitably be needed and increase production cost, making steel less competitive, which would lessen its power for the economy. Russian forces were less than 7 kilometers, 4 miles from the outskirts of Pokrovsk as of October 4th, said Serhiy Dobryak, the head of Pokrovsk military administration. As the evacuation was ongoing, around 13,000 people remained in the town. So there you have it. One of the biggest contributors to Ukrainian economy is in peril. The loss of this mine would have sweeping repercussions when it comes to the entirety of the war, in my opinion. Things like keeping the economy afloat, things like even more increased dependence on aid to be able to keep things going. Probably more difficulty in financing the domestic military production. The implications of losing this particular mine seem to be extremely severe for the Ukrainian situation. And of course, who knows how Russia would utilize the mine once it would get its hands on it. That's also another altogether separate question when it comes to this topic. But I've at least thought that I would at least talk about it briefly because it's important. I'm not sure how many streams you watch when this topic is actually discussed. A lot of streamers discuss the situation directly on the battlefield, directly, how things shift on the ground, be it in Kursk or even in Pokrovsk, but not many people focus on these economic factors such as losing this crucial mine, right? So here I am to sort of talk about it a little bit. And we have. So, yeah. How do we feel about those news? Pretty grim considering that all things considered, right? Pretty grim. So how do we feel about this turn of events? Let me check something real quick. Sorry, I am a little bit low energy today. There's so many new viewers today in the stream and I'm so low energy because I've been no good. And what can be done to save the industry from being targeted? Well, what can be done is that Russia can be repelled from the area, which seems to be a tall order right now. That is what makes the whole situation so difficult, that Russia is advancing on that city, and the one thing that would stop them from targeting this industry, this particular mine, would be repelling them from that area. That is basically the thing that can be done, the only thing that can be done, unfortunately. That is the one thing that can be done. Unfortunate, such is war. Such is war. There's a Ukraine Film Festival ongoing in Warsaw, by the way, which highlights movies that talk about the war. Ukrainian Film Festival in Warsaw highlights experience of war. Among issues that the festival aims to highlight are the presence of Polish minority in Ukraine, both historically and contemporarily, and a deeper look at how Ukrainians integrate into modern Polish society. Another key issue is the situation of Crimean Tatars, their history and rich culture, as well as the persecution that the ethnic group has faced since Russia's illegally annexed the Crimean Peninsula in 2014. The festival, which opened on Monday, runs until Sunday, which I might attend and give my thoughts, with screenings held in Warsaw's Kinoteka and Atlantic Cinemas, as well as the Andrzej Wajda Film Culture Center. I might go. I might actually go and give my impressions on stream. Are Russia more successful with their military objective now or less compared to a year ago? Say, they are gaining ground. They are gaining ground slowly. They lose a lot of people while they do it. The unfortunate reality, and that is, I'm giving you my opinion. Do not treat it as fact. Actually, never treat a pundit's opinion as fact. Looked for an alternative source for some sort of confirmation. But the sad reality is that while technically speaking, Ukraine retains a technological advantage over Russia because the aid that Ukraine receives from the West is higher quality than that of the equipment that Russia has at its disposal. The fact is that the aid arrives in Ukraine very slowly, in not satisfactory quantities, and the fact remains that Russian allies such as North Korea, as much as we may laugh at the quality of their equipment, Iran, and as it turns out, China, are much faster and much more dependable when it comes to sending aid. And as it turns out, in the case of North Korea, also military personnel. So Russia is making advances slowly but surely, grinding their soldiers to death. The losses in Russian personnel every single day is extremely big, but still, Russia does not really care about losing people in that meat grinder, and is slowly pushing forward, which is unfortunately, that is what's happening. And Kursk was supposed to alleviate that to an extent, but Russia has not decided to move a substantial amount of forces from these endangered southern and eastern regions into Kursk, as it seems. The situation in these regions have continued to be tense, so I would say that Russia, from what I know, has made more advancements actually this year than the last. Do you have any update on the incursion into Russian territory? I saw some say it wouldn't last long, but it seems to be continuing. How does the situation play in the current stalemate? It's continuing. I don't know the details of the Kursk situation right now. We can take a look at it, but it's continuing. Yes, there are North Korean soldiers, which some speculated might be actually sent to Kursk. Might actually take a look at something. Hold on. take a the map. There's a map from a certain creator that basically gives you let me see. React. This is the region. As you can see, there is a Russian attack going on here in Novoivanovka. There is a Russian attack going here and here. I need to head off, but I'm glad to see you're still kicking against the pricks, Lucy. Kicking against the pricks? What do you mean, Jandre? Also, thank you for coming to the stream. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope to see you more often on the streams, okay? I hope to grow a bit of an audience. And I can only achieve that through nice people like you that decide that I'm worth watching. Oh, being defiant against bad people. I do try. I do try to be defiant. So there we have it. Thank you. What else? Is there anything else that I should be covering? No, I think that's all. So I guess I said I would be a short stream. It's been 1 hour 53 minutes. We've covered a few topics. I guess we'll continue this tomorrow. I feel a little bit off today. I was not even sure if I was... I'm not even sure. I wasn't even sure if I was to stream today at all. Apologies. It's a bit of a rough day. What's your view about video essays versus streams versus debate, broing? Oh, okay, I guess I can answer that. I think that streams are good for covering certain types of information. Streams are good for this level of interactivity that you can get with the audience. You can discuss a topic, a news topic, or whatever else topic. You can play a game with the audience. You can do things that otherwise you would not be able to do via a video essay or a movie production, documentary, dare I say. So I don't necessarily think there is a versus. I think the versus is a little bit artificial. Debate broing, I can certainly see positives in debating. I don't debate a lot because there are not a lot of people that want to debate me. There's one person that wanted to debate me, but unfortunately, every single time that person wanted to talk to me, I've been in Ukraine, and at that time I did not really have any equipment to stream in Ukraine with. Right now, if that person contacted me right now, even if I were to be in Ukraine, I probably could have arranged something to debate them. But my debates, I guess I have to add that my debates usually are not very typically debatey. My debates usually turn into a friendly conversation, if anything else. So there is this aspect to it as well. But you have creators that do streams, but also behind the scenes work on pre-made content that could be classified, technically speaking, as quote unquote video essays, right? Like the aforementioned Ukrainians react content. That's not stream. That's not stream content. That's very much a pre-made content, which could be, I guess, characterized as a video essay if you think about it. Right? By campism, what Arkel means is that there are people who sort of feel they are part of the group of being pro video essay, and they have to be anti-stream. Therefore, they feel that they have to be part of a team. And if they're part of a team, they have to be anti the opposing team, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Have I answered your question in have I answered your question in a satisfactory manner, or do you have any follow-up questions? Have I exhaustively answered your question? You know who we might raid today? Destiny. So wait, have I actually answered your question in a satisfactory way? I just wonder I hold no strong views on either and have moved away from video essays, but thanks for your answer. I mean, I'm thinking of producing a video essay, a historical one. I'm thinking of producing some of the ideas that I've had in the past in pre-made format. Because technically speaking, this channel revolves around history. I'm pretty big on history, you see. Okay. Have I answered all of the questions before we have to finish stream, or no? I love history. Well, then you will love this channel. If you love history, then you will love this channel because I'm a big history person. As you can probably see. Most of the books in this room are history, actually. A vast majority of the books in this room are history. So I hope I have gained some permanent viewers. I hope I have, if not permanent, at least reoccurring viewers. I'm sorry for the low energy today. I'm feeling a bit off today. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. I am working on it. All right. Do you have a favorite time in history? Yes. I guess I'll answer this before I finish stream. My favorite time in history is, I guess, the time of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, because it's the time of the experiment in the composite state, which is the alternative to the modern nation state. to the idea of the modern nation state. Okay, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for attending. Thank you for being great listeners, great viewers. Thank you for all of your generous donations. I will see you all tomorrow. I will try to make it more structured and I will try to make it higher energy. Also, I will raid you to Riverboat Jack. Riverboat Jack is doing some video games, which you probably need after all of the negative news that you've had to endure today. Edit. I will see you all. I hope if you were a new viewer tonight that you've enjoyed what you've seen and that you would like to come back again. All right. Good night. Good night. Good night. Finish stream.